Lux, thank you very much for volunteering to share a coaching case with us today that we're going to have a look at.
And
Okay.
thank you so much for this opportunity. I am dying to be supervised by you.
Thank you. So what is it that you'd like to have a look at today?
Okay, I had a session which was a complete disaster and which made me I know I'm laughing right now, but it at that time I felt so uncomfortable and I felt so bad, and I was feeling like I was such a bad coach. So I thought maybe this is a good opportunity for me to discuss about that.
That's perfect. Perfect thing to bring to supervision. And it's not rare. You aren't the only person this has ever happened to. I guarantee that. So it's all good. So tell
It's
me
good
what
to know.
it felt like a disaster. What does that mean?
Okay, so would that be okay if I tell you about the session?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so I had this client, and from the very beginning of the session, I felt like he was expecting advice, he was expecting suggestions. And so whenever I asked him a question, he would ask a question back. And it was so difficult, and there was no way that it wasn't working. And he just didn't get it, and I felt like I didn't get him. And then um, in the middle of the session, I started feeling so annoyed with the client. Like I was so annoyed with him, and I felt so angry.
Mm-hmm.
and and I was thinking, I kind of felt like he was judging me as a bad coach. And so for a moment, I realized, I caught myself and I realized, oh my God, I'm judging myself for judging the client who I think is judging me. And there was like a lot of judging going on. And it just led to, I just wanted to scream because it was so frustrating. And I felt like he was not willing to work. And I think I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. And I was also kind of feeling angry with myself because I felt angry at him, and I also realized I was not present with the client. And then I was like, okay, where is my empathy? I'm supposed to be empathetic. So where is my empathy? I just don't understand this client and all that. The
Mm-hmm.
main thing for me was like after the session, I felt so upset because I felt like I was a bad coach and I did such a bad job as a coach. And it
Mm.
was very uncomfortable.
And how long did you carry that bad feeling around for?
Well, I still do. I still
You
feel
still
that.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, still do. Yeah. What would you like to
Yeah.
do with that bad feeling? If you could do
Um,
anything with it, what would you like to do with it?
I would like to get rid of that feeling because I know I'm not a bad coach. It's,
Ah,
uh,
okay.
yeah, that's the funny thing. I deep down, I know I'm not a bad coach, and but it feel whenever I think about it, I can feel like in my body, it's just like that.
And that's interesting. Lexa, where do you feel it in your body?
Uh, Mostly it starts with my throat, and it kind of spreads to my hands, and it's like kind of like a cold, it's like almost like embarrassment,
Mm.
and like a little like light going in my arms, hands, and I feel it also in my like somewhere here.
Yes, in the throat area here.
Yeah,
Something that needs to be said. Yes?
yeah.
Something sitting there that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the voice that needs to be given given airtime? What is that that's sitting here? What is that voice?
I think it's my own voice that's so critical.
It's a critical voice.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So what does it want to say that you're not letting it say? It's still sitting there. Well, what is it wants to say?
Maybe the what it wants to say is actually not critical. It's about me being critical towards myself. What comes to my mind is something like, yes, I am a coach and I'm supposed to catalyze and support the client, but at the same time, I'm also still a human, and so I can make mistakes and I can have a bad session.
So that voice wants to tell you it's okay.
Yeah.
The world isn't going to end. Is that what it wants to tell you?
Yeah. It's a learning experience because that's the first time I ever felt that way, and I'm still a new coach. I don't have lots of experience. I only have like 100 or 120 hours of coaching experience. So maybe it's just that I have a lot of expectations for me to be really good at like every session. So maybe just it's okay. It's just it doesn't mean that I'm going to be a bad coach.
Yes, it happened. Does that voice want to say anything to that client that you're talking about? It's the stuff that's sitting here. What does it want to say to that client?
I want to say sorry because I was angry,
Hmm.
and I'm sorry. I I judged you. I thought you are like a wall because at the time it felt like I'm trying to walk through a wall where there is no door. So it's like banging
Boom.
all the time. Boom. Yeah. So I want to tell my client I'm sorry that I was so critical towards you and to me, and I'm sorry that I judged you and was angry at you.
What do you want to tell that client you were assuming?
I was assuming that he doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to put in the work. And he
So
was avoiding.
this little voice that's sitting here is saying, come on, client, you weren't willing to work.
Yeah.
Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
What do you think would happen to the wall when you said that?
Uh, I think the voice is also saying that he wasn't ready to be a coach just yet. It wasn't his time. And so I feel um, he wasn't ready, and I was trying to create the door. So it wasn't working.
You wanted to push him through that door,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I have this picture then of this client, and you're trying to drag him through the wall, and he's not coming.
Mm-mm.
Right? So what if we could change that picture, what would we change it to?
I could leave the door open and leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of trying to drag him through the door, you'd rather just accept who he is and leave him right there at the door.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I feel good.
That feels
I
good to
actually,
leave him there.
yeah. Yeah. To realize that, oh, actually leaving him alone at the door is an option. And so that he can walk in or out whenever he's ready.
Mm-hmm. Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
That's a learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now where's that? Is that voice still here? Is it still hanging out here?
It's not. It's, um, it felt like something was stuck when we started talking about it, and it's kind of that feeling that cringed my skin, but it's actually it's not there anymore.
Mhm.
Wow, it's crazy. Yeah.
So just briefly, can we have a look at contracting? how do you contract with your clients when you get into it before a session like that? How do you contract so you can get out of it alive without feeling horrible? How have you set that up?
You mean like the agreement?
Yes.
Yeah. So he has we send him the agreement and he sign it, and he understand, and I also explain to him what's happening, so that he's aware what we do, and so he was aware that I wasn't going to give him any advice. I told him like this is not like a consultant session, and we have this creative process. So I explained to him, and yeah.
So you began this session with him knowing what the contractual agreements were between the two of you.
Yeah.
But then when you got into it and the contract was broken initially by him,
Yeah.
what did you do?
Oh.
Oh. No.
I could have reminded him, like, remember, this is not a consulting session. So especially when he asked advice, like suggestions, he was expecting strong suggestions. So, interesting. I never thought about that.
You
To
could
tell
take care.
him.
You could take care of yourself a little better in that session. Is what I heard. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. I could have, reminded him what we discussed at the beginning of the session. And I don't know why I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's fine. Sometimes we don't remember. Sometimes we just learn from that session.
Yeah, then from today onwards, I will never forget, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the middle of a session when it's not going well, and you've got this stuck voice that can't really say anything, and you internalize it into yourself, what would you like to do differently with that? You could just imagine changing that. If we had we could just say, okay, what can I do differently in the middle of a session that's going bad?
At some point, I realized that it's best if I kind of stop the session
Okay.
immediately. But I felt like I didn't know how to do it. Like I didn't know how to find the right time, or what to say to him, what to tell him.
So what stopped you was you were unsure of how to do it. Is that what I'm hearing? You knew that it would be good, but you stopped yourself and you waited for the right opportunity to do it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if we grabbed all our courage and said, what could you do differently in the middle of the session?
So the reason why I didn't do it is that I felt if I say, okay, we have to stop the session, somehow I gather that courage and say it, I felt I was kind of letting him down.
Oh, because
Yeah.
you're responsible for his well-being, right? Yes?
Um, I guess no. I don't know, maybe yes. But I felt responsible because I wanted to respect his time, and I felt he gave me time. I mean, we had this hour, and now if I stop, am I disrespecting the hour? And is it like letting him down? But I think it's very clear to me that was the right thing to do, because he didn't care anyway. When he had the call, he took it. He didn't really care about my time. I mean, it doesn't mean that tick for tack I should have done the same just because. But I think if like letting him, I mean, like stopping the session would have been the right thing for him as well.
Mm.
So
You couldn't force that, right?
no, no.
No. No. Tell me more about that. Like you can't force it.
Honestly, at one point, when I said like I was so angry, I knew that this has to stop, but I just felt like I was frozen. Like it wanted to say like, but it wasn't coming. So
We're back to
um,
the being stuck and frozen. It isn't coming out.
yeah, it wasn't coming out. But looking back at the situation now from here, it would have been so much better if I had that courage and said, hey, listen, I think we need to stop the session and then maybe we will try another time or something. I don't know.
Lux, where will you get the courage from? You said, if I had the courage, where is that courage? Where is it? Where is that courage?
I think it's within me. And realizing it's the right thing to do will give the courage rather than just trying to because I wasn't present. I was angry, I was annoyed with him, I was judging everyone involved. So of course it wasn't working. So realizing that I'm not serving my client in any way, let it go will give the courage next time.
So the courage is there. You just have to figure out a way to get to access it when you're in difficulty. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
It's there. What does it look like, that courage? If you could call it something, what does it look like?
The courage looks like wings.
Wings. Nice. So those wings, how can you strap those wings on? Where, yeah. Can you just grab them when you need them? Or are they hidden, or are they just there and you can just get those wings?
Yeah. So I will have those wings attached to my invisible coaching suit.
The
And
invisible what?
the coaching suit, like the
Okay, the coaching coat. Okay.
Yeah, the
You
coaching
strap
coat.
those wings on there. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's like it's like knowing this is the right thing to do, letting go, and whatever it is that I need courage for, so that I know I already have them. They are already present, so I just have to open them.
That's beautiful. It's very beautiful. So you can just grab those wings when you need them.
Yeah. Oh my God, I feel so like, yeah. I don't know how to explain that feeling, but it's like,
Yeah. Is there anything else around that session that we need to explore today? Is there anything else that's sitting there still uncomfortable? Are we good?
I think we are good.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your new wings.
Thank you. Thank you so much for helping me to discover them. And it's good to know that it's I do have this power, and now that I know what to do better next time. So I'm so happy, and I'm hoping that I will meet someone who will be a little bit difficult, so I can practice my wings.
Yes. Well, I think in the coaching profession, you'll have opportunities to practice your wings. They'll serve you and your clients well.
Yeah.
So, great. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Lex, for being vulnerable and courageous with us today.
Thank you, Benita, for your support and for the wonderful session and for my new wings. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.